Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tilting Ground Untitled Notre Dame USC Football Podcast. I'm Michael Muto. I'm here with Notre Dame expert Greg Famong. Greg, how you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you doing?
Doing great. I got my first spread pick right this whole year, thanks to your
Yes,
help.
congratulations.
Greg advised me to take the points, and I did, and USC did not cover.
By a point and a half, right?
A point and a half.
Yeah.
So thank you, Greg. You earned your expert title.
Well, it didn't work. Happily, it didn't. I was wrong about Notre Dame. So
True. We'll get to that later, though.
Is this the first? Oh no, it's the second week that both of our teams won.
Yes, first week it happened, and now this week it happened.
Yeah.
So that's good for us.
That's very exciting. So
the USC game was on Friday, in case you missed it. Notre Dame fans.
Now, Mike, were you one of the 500-600 people that went to the game?
I did not. I actually thought about it, and I was like, I could go. I could get free tickets if I just stand around long enough.
You definitely could. Someone would just hand them to you.
I think I saw that tweet. It was this guy giving away tickets. No one will take them. Yeah, I thought about it, but no. You know why? Because the game ended at like 10:45 at night.
True. That is so late.
And Notre Dame fans, you snicker when I say that, but you're in store for that fate this weekend because you got a late start also coming up against Stanford.
Yes, those there locally. Yes. Out here it'll be proper bedtime, 8 p.m.
Anyway, so no, I did not go to the Friday night game at the Coliseum, the first Friday night game in 20 years, according to ESPN, for the Trojans.
So, a little nerve-wracking, right?
Yeah, there's I could be speaking for all fans here, and I don't do that lightly. I have a hunch that whatever happened on Friday, everyone was going to be okay with. If they lost, everyone was going to lose their minds and feel free to yell at Clay Helton, yell at T. Martin, yell at John Baxter, call the players soft. Everyone was just ready to lose their minds. Or if they won, it's like, well, they won. That's fine. Let's see what happens. They're probably going to win the Pac-12 South because all these teams stink. And I guess we have to keep it to ourselves, and it's, a win's a win. So I just felt that during the first half, when things were bad for USC, everyone's like, oh, good. Now I can finally point fingers. I can finally be mad. I finally have a culprit for how I'm actually feeling when I watch these awful games, even though they've won a Rose Bowl, they've won a Pac-12 title. They played in the Cotton Bowl. It's like on paper, these are great. Or as former USC great punter Tom Malone said, if a coach did this stuff at UCLA, they'd build him a statue.
Did what stuff?
Win a Rose Bowl, go to a Cotton Bowl, get a Pac-12 title, all in 2.5 years. They build the guy a statue.
Some UCLA shade.
Yeah, it was very nice.
That's good. Well, I'll tell you why I was rooting. I was rooting for, like you said, I was fine either way, because it's always funny when USC loses. It is. Well, no, just because on the sports talk, like, they get so mad. Like Petros, he loses his mind. And, the tweets are always very enjoyable.
Yeah.
But it's very important to me that Clay Helton sticks around. And at one point, USC was down 30-17. And I was thinking, man, if they don't turn this around right here, like, he might not. He might be done.
They may take him to the airport to fire him.
Yes, like he may not make it to Monday. I was very concerned. Because he needs to stick around.
Because he is really just mediocre enough to where
I tweeted out during the game, like, when they show him on the sideline, I just get so happy because he's so clearly without answers.
So I kid you not, I saw this on Facebook today. This is someone I barely know had an exchange with their daughter, and I guess they were watching football today,
Yeah.
and the daughter said, "Mom, why do the coaches look like that?" And then she made like a coach's face, like scrunched her nose up and like had her eyebrows all up,
Uh,
and she's like, "Oh, because coaching's a hard job," or something along those lines. And then the daughter said, "But Clay Helton doesn't look like that." I swear, you can't make that stuff up.
he's figured out nothing.
Oh,
He's just always like pacing the sideline, like trying to figure. You could always tell like he's trying to figure it out. Like he wants the answer to just come to him, and he doesn't. He doesn't know.
Well, the rumor was this week he was swearing. He was using curse words in
Oh
practice
God.
because he's a tough guy now.
Oh God. This guy. Please, forever keep him. So you got to win these games. It's very important that you all win these
They're
games.
gonna win the Pac-12. I told everyone that the worst case scenario for this team is winning the Pac-12 South.
Mm.
It's just I know there was a point where I thought 3-8 or whatever was on the table.
It's gonna be awesome.
But no, Arizona's garbage. Arizona State's whatever. Yeah, and there's enough playmakers on the Trojans that they can beat any game. I mean, look, they figured out that they're high profile enough to where if they just throw the ball deep, they're going to get pass interference calls. So,
well, here's
that's all
the
they
thing
did
about
against
that.
Washington State.
So the thing about that is there were about 7 pass interference or holding calls.
That's being honest. I mean, we're not even using.
Well,
hyperbole.
there were 9. There were 9 in the game. There were 9 penalties against Washington State. So I feel like they had a couple that weren't. So I think the number is like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
There were a lot, like more than I ever remember.
It was a lot of pass interference calls.
And I texted you during it, like it happened early where they took a couple deep shots, and this poor number 4 kid, he got called for pass interference.
He just mugged Trevon Sidney, right?
Yeah. And then USC was like, oh, he's completely not comfortable. And then they just started going after him all the time. And then they just said, hey, how about if we just do this on like every other play? And it was either caught or it was a penalty.
Fantastic plan.
And that was basically the offense in the second half.
Yeah.
Like no exaggeration. They ran the ball. They came out running like gangbusters. They received the opening kickoff, 4 plays, 75 yards.
All runs.
All runs right into the end zone. And then they just couldn't run the ball for the rest of the game.
Then they USC'd it up. It's shades of Texas.
It's kind of unbelievable. Like they just couldn't do it. And I wouldn't say they abandoned it, but they definitely, I mean, it was desperation. Just as far as, they didn't really have like a game plan. I mean, it was clearly like, hey, we have 3 top 100 wide receivers, one of which is like a top 10 wide receiver, like top 10 player in the nation. And we have our 5-star quarterback. So why don't we just throw it up all the time? And, not terrible idea, right? Those guys are good.
Yeah.
And it shows. I mean, Tyler Vaughn's, he made some incredible catches. Of course, Amon-Ra St. Brown just.
I mean, he had like 1 target in the first half. Great coaching.
Yeah, and he catches the long fade or the long seam route up the sideline for touchdown.
Yeah, over his head, over his shoulder.
The ball's over his head, and he just plucks it out of the air like it's nothing, because that's what he does. And you've got the 2-point or the a 2-point conversion?
Yeah, 2-point conversion play
to Tyler Vaughn's, who he's just
He goes like sails like right
I mean,
over
it's just
two
incredible
defenders.
throw.
Yeah.
It was like the catch with Dwight Clark and Joe Montana in 1982 or whatever it was. I mean, that's
Michael
that,
Pittman had a big running catch, or catch
yeah,
and
just
run,
a 5 yard out turns it into a 50-yard touchdown.
and he had a great catch for a touchdown that didn't count
Uh,
before the half.
I think he was in. I
Yeah, I
think
mean,
that
I was fine with the no call.
I
but
think that ESPN needs better cameras. That's what I think.
yeah, I was a little surprised at how blurry some of those replays were.
It should not be blurry because Notre Dame had a touchdown very similar to that last year, where the guy came down and the first shot was blurry, and then the next one they like did super slow mo, and you could clearly see the grass between his foot and the sideline, and they got the touchdown. But that's why they're 5-star players, Michael.
Right.
Like that's what it is, you know.
Don't forget Velus Jones. He had another shot down the field.
He did.
That's 2 weeks in a row.
And the thing is, Washington State has one 4-star player on their entire team, and he's a receiver. So none on defense. You do what you got to do. So, I mean, I guess that's good news, right? I mean, it's something that they figured it out, you know, JT Daniels and being able to, you know, connect with those guys. That's probably the most important thing as far as this season goes.
Right.
So what was how did everyone feel at the end there?
I mean, I got to thank Mike Leach for blowing the game. I'm not quite sure what he was doing because that offense was moving pretty good against the USC defense.
Yep.
And then for some reason he started running the ball and wasting time and calling weird plays. So thank you, Mike Leach, for letting USC keep the lead.
You should also thank them for blowing the extra point.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why USC was even ahead. Because if they make the extra point, then they don't have to go for two later and miss. And it's just basically a tie game. Like it's tied at 38.
This is true. Yeah, I mean, they had that bonehead wide receiver snap to the quarterback play. But then the wide receiver wasn't set up right, so they got a penalty called.
They did it the week before, and I think they should have been. I guess the center has to have his shoulders square to line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
If you're snapping the ball, you have to have your shoulders square.
I did not know that.
And so the receiver was kind of peeking to where the quarterback was.
Well,
so
he was turned sideways.
Yeah. I was being generous.
Why is that a rule? I don't understand.
It's kind of dumb.
Cool. Like, why does it matter how?
Maybe to prevent that. Maybe to prevent a center snapping it to two different people.
Why?
I don't know.
Like, you snap it to whoever you want.
That's true. I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to interpret why it's a penalty.
Because it's little known, you don't have to snap it between your legs. You can snap it however you want.
It's just got to be, your shoulders just have to be square.
It just has to go backward, yeah. Apparently, and your shoulders have to be square.
Who knew? But yeah, thanks, Mike Leach, for just boneheading up the final drive.
Yeah. But of all those pass interference penalties, I thought there was only one that was shaky, and it was the one on the drive where they called the holding on the tight end.
Okay.
I thought that was kind of ticky. Like, come on, that's not. Because first of all, I mean, the tight end is engaged with the guy also. And then he tries to break away, and the guy's hands are still on him. And then Daniels throws the ball, and it's not even close to anyone.
Well, it's because he was getting held.
Right, exactly. So
timing.
They call that, and then on the next couple plays, that was the other thing is USC, like, they were kicking the ball around on the snap so many times.
Oh yeah, that was not great.
3 or 4 times, the ball handling in the backfield was no good. So Daniels drops the snap, and then he picks it up, and then he just like falls and takes a knee. It was super random, and the guy comes around and he hits him, and he shouldn't have.
Yes, they had some helmet-to-helmet contact.
So that's like, you know,
it was a strange
It's very weird.
in the Washington State defenders, defending him. It was like kind of weird how it happened.
Right. And then of course the commentators are begging for a targeting foul.
Yeah. And the kid kind of pulled up. Like I think he realized like halfway into the hit, like, wait, I'm hitting a quarterback who's on his knees. I probably
Who's on his
shouldn't.
knees? Yeah, I shouldn't do this.
I shouldn't
And
be
they're
doing
just
this.
they're like, why aren't they reviewing this? He should be ejected. Just can't wait to throw players out of the game. That's fantastic.
And then they show one replay of Porter Gustin destroying
Oh my god.
the Washington State quarterback with a helmet-to-helmet hit. His second week.
I mean, he's definitely channeling Clay Matthews right now.
He is, right?
I mean, just completely.
With the late hits and the bad haircut.
And the funny thing is, I thought that one was worse than the one that got him ejected.
Right?
Because it's so late and he's like behind him. Oh man, this guy. So
There was speaking of Porter Gustin, there was a fun quote from Marvell Tell after the game, and he said he didn't know that Porter Gustin wasn't playing for the first half.
what?
Yeah, that's what he said. Like, I don't think he meant like, oh, he didn't realize like he wasn't going to play. Like, I think he meant I didn't realize he wasn't out there, which is fantastic.
Wait, because he was saying that because like he.
Well, Porter Gustin didn't play the first half because he got the target against Texas.
But was he saying like I didn't realize he wasn't out there because
he wasn't paying attention? I guess.
Oh, that's cool.
That's real cool.
I think the cool part is I believe he's a captain.
Yeah, he is a captain.
You should know if one of the captains is not out there.
Yeah. You think you would? He's the other captain. You think they'd have like some kind of captain's meeting?
So like during halftime, like did Porter Gustin just like ask a question, and Marvell Tell was like, "Hey, dude, like we saw that in the first half.
Where have you been?"
And Porter Gustin's like, "I didn't play in the first half."
No, I think someone asked him, how did things change when Porter Gustin came in the second half? And his response was, "Oh, I didn't realize he wasn't there."
Oh, that's brilliant. That's
like,
great.
You didn't notice the true freshman starting in front of you, wearing number one.
Here's the funny thing, Michael.
Yeah.
Is maybe you like during the week, when the first team defense runs out there, it's noticeable.
It had to come up
when the senior defensive end is not out there, and you know exactly why he's not out there. I mean, it would have been talked about. I almost don't believe him.
I mean, I just chalk it up to Clancy Pendergast not talking to his players.
I don't. I think the whole thing that is a farce. Like, there's no way he didn't know. How could he not know?
That's what I thought.
Oh man. Okay. Well.
But you know me and Porter Gustin, I'm not the biggest fan anyway. So, and the lack of pressure the USC defense is getting on quarterbacks this year is appalling. I mean, it's Washington State. They should at least get a little bit of pressure on them.
Yeah.
And they can't.
Well, I mean, that kid quarterback, I mean, they got pressure on him on the one throw where he scored a touchdown on that beautiful pass. Yeah. I mean, he was a good player.
I know. I mean, he is like 5 years older than all the other kids, but
he is. I mean, and he had a proper mustache too.
He did.
I don't know who JT Daniels is trying to trick with his little what have you, but this guy had a proper stash.
I got to stand up for my guy, JT Daniels. I'm getting a lot of heat for his fake mustache from lots of different people, not just Greg. And I'm sorry. I know he looks like AJ from the Backstreet Boys. I get it. But it's a little Paxton Lynchy.
I'm going to tell you something, Michael. That's not good. Those aren't good footsteps.
Those aren't good things. But he's got that baby face, and he needs a little respect in the huddle. So I think he grows the mustache.
No.
I bet it's gone next year.
I think he needs to get rid of it.
He gets on a proper performance-enhancing drug cycle or time in the weight room. Beefs up. He'll be 19 years. He'll be 20 years old because he's like really 18 and a half right now. So,
hey, can we talk about that real quick?
Yeah, we can. Because it's a little overhyped.
You can scratch a little in that because he's not. The kid is held back, so he
I
is
mean,
the
hold on.
same
That's
age.
a common thing that sports parents do.
No, I'm not. I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying he's of age. Like, look, Jimmy Clausen turned 20 in like the spring of his freshman season. Like, it's not like the kid is 16 years old out there. You
Like
know?
like his teammate Amon Rasmussen Brown, who is
Yeah,
a real 18 years old.
yeah. Like he's the same age as him. Like they're the same age. Uh, he's not. It's not like he's supposed to be a senior in high school because he was held back. That's why.
Right. He's actually supposed to be a freshman
Exactly. He's
in
supposed to be
college.
a freshman
He's
in
the
college.
appropriate age.
Yes. I turned 18 in June of my senior year. Like I turned 18 2 weeks before I graduated high school. I'm he JT Daniels is the right age for a freshman player.
Right.
So
But
it's very
he doesn't have the game reps. He doesn't have the reps though. I mean, he did miss a year of high school.
no, but like what they're trying to
I
say,
know. Like
it,
he's 17 out there
yeah, he's not.
because he couldn't play in the NCAA's if he was too young. There are some rules. The
Exactly.
NCAA does have
Correct.
some rules,
Correct.
how arbitrary
So
they may be, but there are some rules on eligibility.
yeah,
So yes, I agree that the JT Daniels story needs to pump the brakes just a hair.
he's a freshman.
He's a freshman, yeah, and the reclassification stuff, like it actually just makes like sport. It's like one of those icky things that happens in sports. Like, oh, I'm gonna mess around with what grade my kid's in so he can be bigger than the other kids.
Well, I think the thing that is icky about it is that it's like, hey, you know what? Maybe I just won't be a senior in high school.
Right?
Like maybe I'll just maybe yeah. And it's like, well, wait a second.
And
Wait one
USC's like,
second.
that's age. Yeah, you get the GED. It's fine.
Like I didn't have to I didn't have a major course load my senior year, but I definitely had to take classes.
Right.
I couldn't just be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna go play football
Can I do
at
some
X
winter
school.
stuff online and just get out of there?
Yeah.
I mean, you
So
didn't know. Your parents really let you down. Is the problem? They could have got you out sooner. Who knew?
it's look, I won't lie, it's a sore spot with me and my parents. Specifically my mom, who no doubtedly did not think of it. I'm sure my dad was very aware that I should have been held back myself. Because why should I like
Why should you compete with kids who are bigger than you?
Michael, I turned 18 2 weeks before I graduated high school. Like that's insane.
Just think about what you could have done
I was
to opposing high school that with another year of seasoning.
I was betrayed, Michael, is what happened.
The Falon family could learn from the Daniels family.
That's exactly how it went. Anyway,
We digress.
we digress.
Let's see what else. So what else happened? I think those are the big ones. The team can't get pressure. They have no rhythm on offense. They only scored because of pass interference plays and great catches by wide receivers. They only won because Mike Leach blew the game. I mean, everyone in USC land, like the fires have calmed down a little bit. They're not raging as hot, but I think we all know, just like Greg knows, that Clay Helton's not the guy for the job, but they're going to keep having 9-win seasons. So I don't know where you go from here because they get all the best players. He's probably a good recruiter. Everyone seems to think he's a likable guy. So I don't know where we go from here.
Okay. I want to highlight my favorite part of the whole experience. So your boy John Baxter,
Oh,
right? People don't like him, okay? And he's a special teams coach. And people don't like him because their special teams have been terrible.
for
So
years.
the game ended essentially, not officially, but it essentially ended on a blocked field goal attempt by USC where the left guard just turned loose the guy in front of him.
Yeah. It's a clear path.
I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. Like if it was a little match fixy. Like if it came out in the paper. No, I'm not saying I don't think he did. But if it came out in the paper that the left guard for Washington State had like tanked the game on purpose, let's just say the video evidence would be very compelling for the jury.
I will not stand for that. Washington State is my second favorite Pac-12 team.
I'm just saying it was inexplicable.
The Palouse is nothing but upstanding, scholarly individuals.
It was inexplicable.
Beyond reproach.
So the kid blocks the kick.
Yeah, he just runs right up the middle, puts his hands up.
And Clay Helton, after the game, goes in the press conference and is like, you know what? Full credit to John Baxter. That was a specific scheme that he put in for that specific situation.
Terrible.
I was like, what?
It's just terrible. I mean, they must be like best friends, right?
I mean, it's like so transparently like I'm sticking up for my coach.
And he sticks up for him all the time.
It's like, dude, they blocked the field goal and they hold on, let me 1 second. Mark the time.
Yep.
I guess she said Wes is crying. Hold on. Oh, see, she's not even checking this. Okay. All right, I'll start it up again.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1. They blocked the field goal, Michael. All right. It was a good play by the player. It you know, it's not like the guy drew up some sort of sneaky stunt or some kind.
Right. It was a whiffed block is really what happened.
And that's Clay Helton to me. And that's why I love him so much.
Ugh. Can't wait for at least 5 more years of this.
Love it.
All right. So USC has Arizona next week.
Away,
Arizona,
right?
I believe so. I'm pulling it up right now. Pac-12 after dark.
Yes.
So anything's possible with Pac-12 after dark. Where'd it go? They changed the time. I think it was a later start originally, and they moved it back a little bit
To 7:30.
Yeah.
Mm.
So a little respect for the Wildcats.
How is Arizona? They're in the. Are they Pacific or are they Mountain? Time.
I think it depends on what time of year.
Oh, gotcha.
I think they don't do the switch.
Oh, I see.
Let's see. USC is a 3-point road favorite at Arizona.
Okay.
It was formerly a 10:30 p.m. start time.
So that's Eastern. Okay.
Yeah.
3-point road favorite.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're probably going to win. Arizona's a dumpster fire.
That's weird, though. 3 points?
So that means that USC's a 6-point favorite at home?
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't think USC's ever going to get more than a touchdown for the rest of the season. Just because you don't know what's going to happen. Oh, fun fact that I didn't add for the Washington State game. As we kill Clay Helton and talk about how he's never going to get fired. Clay Helton's never lost as the head coach at the Coliseum, which is wild to me.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not good for when Notre Dame visits there later in the year, but
true.
I mean, you win the home games.
You win the home games. That's what you got to do.
I mean, there are people probably who only watch home games, and they're like, I don't know why everyone hates Clay Helton. I've never seen him lose a game.
Yeah, I don't follow. I don't follow gamblers point spreads, so I don't know that he's 1-9 as the
Wait a
underdog.
minute. I have one more thing we need to talk about.
Oh, okay.
What is up with your boy, the Sanchez?
That got you all riled up, and I'm not sure why.
Okay. Okay.
So Mark Sanchez led the team. Him and one of the linemen from his day led the team out onto the field. I don't remember the lineman's name, but they led the team out. And I texted Greg Sanchez Saturday, and Greg was just beside himself. That
I
Mark
don't. What
Sanchez,
is he doing there?
he's got nothing else to do.
What are you doing, dude? Like, I don't want to say like because sometimes you have like old players like line the field or whatever, and they all just stand there and the team runs out like in between them.
Right. Or it's like the celebration of his Rose Bowl team or something.
Led them running out of the tunnel as if he was a part of like the staff.
In jeans.
Like, dude, what are you doing? Do something else. Like, just like you're not on the team anymore.
I think this is just you're just hating him because
I'm not doing anything. I was sitting at my home watching the game and he inserted himself into my life.
Look, he's got a little free time. His NFL career is over. He hasn't made his way onto, my local ABC, news station yet, where he parlays that into the ESPN or Fox Sports gig. Well, I guess he can't be Fox Sports because that's Leinart. You can't have two good-looking USC quarterbacks hosting. They got to spread it out. You know where he's going. A little NBC Sports, Notre Dame pregame, that'd be great.
Let me ask you this. What would you say if prior to like Notre Dame Stanford, like Jimmy Clausen is out there just leading them onto the field?
I think I'd send you the same text I said.
You'd be like, dude.
With Mark said, I said, surprise Jimmy was available.
You'd be like, dude, what's going on with this loser running onto the field for his alma mater? You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call the coach from my high school and be like, hey,
I'm kind of the team out.
I'm kind of a famous alum. Like, you got anyone to like lead the players onto the field?
Just on a random Friday night. I know it's not homecoming. I know it's not a big game.
It's great. It's so good. We've probably spent way too much time on USC.
We have far too much time on USC.
Okay.
All right. So, yes, they get Arizona. Arizona's a dumpster fire in the desert. Probably going to win. Probably going to look real good doing it, too. So everyone's going to be like, oh, they righted the ship.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm giving points.
Yeah, that sounds smart.
They better beat their ass.
I'll reconvene with you later Saturday. But at this moment in time, it looks like giving points as well. Okay. All right, let's flip it. Notre Dame. So Notre Dame rolls into Wake Forest with a new quarterback. So Brandon, as Greg calls him,
Brandon,
bench for Ian
sad.
Book. The Irish come down. They play an inferior defense, look great, and everyone's happy. What are you thinking about the quarterback change, Greg, with Stanford on the horizon? How did Ian Book look?
So here's the thing, Michael. You know how you're dating somebody and you've been together for a bit and you know that they're like great. Like they have a lot of good things going for them. And you know that, and everyone knows that, right? And you've had a lot of good times. Like you have so much fun together sometimes. And there are points when you're thinking, yes, like this person is the one for me. But in the back of your mind, you're always thinking there's just something missing. Something not there. And I don't really know what it is, but it's just, I can't fully commit. And every once in a while, like you'll go through some rough patches, but you think like, but I can't really, like I'm doing well, like we're doing fine, and I'm happy and everything, but you just have rough patches, you just can't get over it. And you just wonder, like, what is this thing in my mind, like this missing thing that's not there? And then you decide, you know what, maybe I should go out with this other person. And then you go out with that other person and like, oh, okay, this person's got it. This person has what I've been looking for, and this is the person that I need to invest my time in long term. And that's pretty much what's going on with the Notre Dame quarterback situation right now.
Wow.
Did you like that, Michael?
You've turned your back on Brandon just like that?
I didn't turn my back on Brandon. Here's the thing, Michael, is sometimes, it's no one's fault. It's no one's fault. It's just that Ian Book is what completes us.
No.
It is.
No. No way. Brandon Wimbush was set up to fail.
Oh, how dare you.
Set up to fail.
How dare you.
Ian Book comes in against a soft team that just got flooded out of all their homes. And they call better plays, easier plays. The offensive line's looking better. They do have a replacement in, I recall. And they get off to a hot start. He looks great.
They didn't get off to a hot start. They didn't score on their first 3 possessions.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. But I think he got to play a soft team, and I don't know. I feel unfulfilled.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Michael. Brandon Wimbush got to play against Ball State. Okay.
Yeah, but I feel like the schematics, the game plan for that was not all there. It was just like huck it deep. Huck it deep, Brandon.
Look, I love Brandon. Okay. Brandon gave me 49-14, and it was great. And he beat Michigan, and that was awesome. And he beat Michigan State last year, and it's all fine and good.
LSU, the talk of the town.
Well, he got benched in that game, and then Ian Book came in and won the thing.
Whatever. He was the starting quarterback.
All right, hold on again. Wes is crying.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay. Give me 1 second. You heard it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That means it'll probably be on the pod. I'll reference it. Give me 1 sec. All right, I'm back.
All
right, so here we go.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1. They didn't call better plays. They didn't do any of that. All right. I love Brandon. He did a lot of good things for us. But the problem, Michael, is that they couldn't run an RPO. Okay? They couldn't run an RPO. They couldn't run a wide receiver screen. They couldn't just do basic things. and it was just time. It was time. And he had chances. Like he played against Vanderbilt. He played against Ball State. Like the
and won. They won.
They scored 22 points. Like they scored 24 points. It just wasn't. It wasn't working. It wasn't. You know. And then they bring in Ian Book. He did the thing. He did it.
I don't know. I just think Brandon Wimbush is a more dynamic player. And my ceiling's higher.
Look, look. There's dynamic, and then there's 566 yards of total offense
Against Wake Forest.
What? I don't understand why you keep bringing up the Wake Forest thing when he didn't do it against Ball State.
Maybe
The same team that went out against Indiana and got boat raced. He just didn't play. He didn't play as well as Ian Book did.
All right. It's your team. You're the Notre Dame expert. You tell me who's trending up and who's trending down. I'll take your word for it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than they were bad on offense and then they were really good.
They were good. Fair enough.
So,
all right, Dexter Williams is back next week.
Dexter's back.
Is everyone excited about that?
Dexter's back. I think everyone's excited just the fact that like he's like a true home run explosive guy. I mean, the good thing is that the other two backs have now shown enough to where it's like, oh, Dexter doesn't have to actually carry the ball 15, 20 times because he probably can't handle it. Like he can still hover around like 10 carries a game. So that's good.
Besides Ian Book, who else looked good against Wake Forest?
Well, you mentioned the line.
I did.
So they changed the right guard. I guess
someone was hurt though, right? It wasn't
Tommy
like
Kramer is the right guard. I guess he hurt his ankle.
Yeah,
so
I did a little Googling during the game.
Yeah, so they started Trevor Ruland, and he looked great. And Brian Kelly said today that that's going to be like game to game. I'm not really sure what that means, but I don't know. Trevor Ruland looked really good in there. I'll just say that. And the offense looked great. But then the offense looked good against Vanderbilt. Against the offensive line looked good against Vanderbilt too. So it's not like Tommy Kramer's totally useless. So that makes me feel good just in that, like, if there's an injury somewhere, like
you got another capable starter.
Yeah, they have a sixth guy. I mean, maybe they'll do like a rotation like they did last year with Kramer and Hainsey. So there's that. Alize Mack showed signs of life. 6 catches, 61 yards. He had a big one up the seam.
You know what's weird about Alize Mack?
What's that?
For not being a very good football player, is I see him all over the place on like guys' social medias, like press release. Like I see his name everywhere.
He's very into social media
for not being good at what he does.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like he starts, so it's not like he's
he's their starting tight end. I get it, but
but he's also like not putting up numbers that.
Now that the savior Ian Book is there, maybe everything changes.
Well, his career high in catches in a game is 6, and he's done it twice, and they both came in Ian Book starts.
There you go.
So take from that what you must. Oh my goodness, Michael!
Someone's racing by my house.
Jeez, you got Fast and the Furious over there?
Pretty much.
Dang, they're racing for slips. So yeah, I mean, you could name anyone on the offense. They look good. They scored 56 points. They had 550 yards of total offense or whatever it was. So
injuries on defense. Anything of note? I saw a couple guys go down.
Troy Pride got hurt but then he came back and had an interception. I feel like there was an injury that I'm not thinking of.
Drew Tranquil got hurt. He
He
came
got
back,
hurt,
right?
but he got hurt during the game and he came back. He's fine. No, I think they're healthy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're a healthy team.
I'm not going to lie, my attention span started to wane towards the end of the game.
I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, it was like a blowout. Like this was the like what I was waiting for. Like, oh, thank God! Like I can actually like relax. Like I can just sit here and watch it and enjoy the game. Like right when it got to like 35-13, I was like, oh, okay, this game's pretty much over.
And you were not watching in real time, so I couldn't text you. So that took another fun element of watching
I know. I had
games
to
away from me.
I had to take my daughter to gymnastics.
Hey, I'm not saying you're a bad guy. I'm just
No,
telling
I'm
you.
just saying it's hard because
Trust me, I know.
it's hard because I'm there and it's like I could just look at my phone and find out, but I don't want to. I want to find out watching. And it's like I come home and I got to put the boy to bed because he's got to take his nap. And really, I just want to walk in and press play so I can watch the game. I got to, walk on that tightrope with the wife. Very important. Can't just walk in and just
no
go away. So, as you will soon find out.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Exciting game. We got Stanford coming up.
That's a big one.
Really don't like them.
Stanford undefeated, Notre Dame undefeated, coming into Notre Dame Stadium.
Yep. And the thing is with Stanford is like they have that feeling like, oh, we can't lose because of the way that they just beat Oregon.
Like they got the close one out of the way.
Well, not just the close one, but like the one that they should have lost.
Right.
When they were about to go down 31-7. And I mean, a miracle happened. There's no other way to look at it. They had two miracles, basically. They had a fumbled snap from like the 1 yard line that was returned for a touchdown. And then they had the fumble at the end when Oregon's basically just running out the clock. I mean, it was a miracle.
So now they think they have the luck in their favor.
Right. It's like, oh, we're invincible. We can do whatever we want. And they beat Notre Dame every year. So they have that confidence. It's like,
they have a little bit of a streak going, don't they?
I just don't like them. You know who they remind me of, Michael?
Who?
And this is like very regional specific. So like Michael and I will get this. Anyone who's listening who isn't from Southern California won't. But they're like the kids from San Marino. Stanford is.
You've made one of great friends of the pods very happy with that comment.
Is that Demetrius?
Yes.
Yes. No, it's just they're like because the kids in San Marino like super rich kids lived in the best houses. Their school is immaculate, and they were in our league, and I just didn't like them. And that's how Stanford is. Like this KJ Costello kid, their quarterback. Like he is every quarterback that San Marino ever had. And it's like, dude, I want to hit you in the face so hard.
KJ Costello's an Orange County guy, right? So that just means he wasn't good enough for USC.
Oh, is that true?
I'm pretty sure.
Look it up.
I'm pretty sure he's Santa Margarita. But that could be wrong. But I'm fairly positive he's an Orange County guy.
Santa Margarita?
I think so.
Oh my God, Newport Beach.
Oh.
He did go to Santa Margarita. You're right.
Yeah, I got to keep my eye on all the Orange County quarterbacks because the good ones go to USC.
Oh man, his name is Kevin Richard.
Just swing it back to USC for a second. I got a lot of why does he go by JT questions during the game from multiple people as well. That kind of went along with his mustache questions. It's like everyone was just piling on early.
Okay, so speaking of, he is a sophomore.
KJ?
Oh wait, it says class sophomore, but it seems like he's a junior.
I think he's a red shirt, right?
Redshirted in 2016, played last year. So he's a junior. Okay. Because I was going to say there's a 21-year-old sophomore, but
Right.
he's a junior.
Good for him.
Man,
But I don't like Stanford either, just for the record.
really don't like them
So
very much.
Bryce Love, you guys ready for that? Drew Tranquil going to keep him in check.
You know what? I'm not worried about. I mean, Bryce Love is obviously a good player, and their running game is
You
always
think he's
solid.
fake news?
It's not that he's not fake news. It's just that like him by himself is not what bugs me. What bothers me is Stanford has these receivers that and tight ends that just like they make these catches that are just they get on your nerves. Like the last touchdown that they scored in overtime against Oregon, like the ball is so behind him and he tips it up in the air, like the guy just tips it up and he tips it right to himself. And it's like, how are you making this play? And they've
Like,
got
that's
this.
not how it's drawn up. It's like they just kind of like get their hands on it somehow.
Yeah.
They're always jump balls or like, yeah, I know what you mean.
And then you've got this Caden Smith tight end guy who catches everything. And he's so good. Like, he's good. And this JJ Arcega Whiteside, like, that's another thing that's annoying. Like, am I losing to a guy whose last name is Arcega Whiteside?
Maybe.
Like, now I'm losing to a hyphen? It's like so – it's so annoying. But he's really good. He's a good player. Caden Smith is a good player.
Their offensive line's always pretty good.
Offensive line is good. Their coach, like David Shaw, he's got that look on his face.
He's just a class act, right?
The opposite. Man, I just don't like them at all.
Well, you're a 4-point favorite at home.
Is it 4 or is it 3.5?
It's 4 at the moment.
So it opened at 3.5 and it went up to 4. I feel like that's the trend with Notre Dame. It opens at something, then the money immediately comes in on Notre Dame, and then the night before, a whole bunch of money comes in on Wake Forest. Like I remember, or on the opponent.
Right.
I was watching the lines, the betting. There was someone on Twitter, and they were talking about the line had opened up at 7.5. It went to 8, and then it went down to 6.5. And the guy was like, "Yeah, early money on Notre Dame." And then the sharps came in at the very end and bumped it down to 6.5, and put a whole bunch of money on Wake Forest. So what happens? Notre Dame wins by 30.
Right.
And the same thing happened with Michigan. The same thing.
Yes, it was right after I put my Jules Shillelagh in. My 5 Jules Shillelaghs in.
Yeah. And
the line jumped 1.5.
And it was like, oh, the sharps know something. And it turned out they didn't know anything. So I'm actually hoping that the
trend continues.
I hope it bumps down. I hope it bumps down to like
Stanford. 2 or something.
Yeah, like Notre Dame minus 2.5. Just please do it. That would make my week.
That would be pretty funny if it happened again.
So I expect that. Here's the thing.
Okay.
Stanford's not going to blow them out. Okay. But
they can't, right? Stanford hasn't blown anybody out.
Well, that's probably true. But I do expect
UC Riverside or whoever they played, Cal Poly Pomona.
I do expect that it'll be a close game. I'm going to pick Notre Dame just because I want to. Because I feel like if it's going to be close, like it's a pick 'em, well, then I'm picking my team because this is the way it goes.
That's what we're here for.
Exactly.
Do I see Brandon Wimbush at all?
Yes.
Oh. Playing wide receiver.
No. He won't play any possession. I don't understand why people always do that, by the way. And I know you were joking, so it's no big deal. But like people always like, was he going to play running back? It's like, no, dude, he's not going to play running back. Like, he's a quarterback. You know, and he's not a wide receiver either. Like, I don't understand. Like, he's never played another position. You don't just go into major college football and be like, oh, this didn't work out. I'm going to be X thing.
Wake Forest wide receiver has a different story for you.
What do you mean?
Because wasn't their wide receiver the quarterback last year?
Yeah, but he was a receiver like at other points of his.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't keep track of.
Oh no, that's cool. I'm just saying, like, you got to look at his game. Like Brandon Wimbush isn't that kind of guy.
No, he's a quarterback.
Yeah. So, but I think they will. I think they'll have something for him. Like they'll get him involved somehow.
Ooh, how excited were you to see the freshman on Saturday? Phil, what's Jurkovec? Jurkovec, whatever.
It was cool. I mean, he's tall. He threw the ball really far one time.
He did throw the ball really far one time.
And he was complaining about getting a pass interference penalty. They were up by 30. That was pretty good.
I thought that was nice. That was a nice touch by him.
I was like, dude, what's going on, man?
This is his one moment to shine.
Calm down.
And he ran. He ran a couple times.
He ran a couple times. He threw the deep ball, and Todd Blackledge was super bitter about it. He's like, you're throwing deep. You're up 36. It's like, yeah, but
he really is only 18 years old.
When you have the third team quarterback in the game, like
that's what he wants to do.
You should be able to do whatever you want at that point.
Right. It's not like they play action or anything.
Yeah, like we're trying to work on stuff. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, if it's the backups, I don't think it's running the score up.
Right. Like it's Wake Forest. It's not like it's Ball State.
And they didn't do it every time. You do it once. It's like it's fine.
Right.
Like, you guys are going to get hurt if you're just running short routes and pounding up the middle every time.
You should not complain for penalties, though.
Yes, that was a little. He's a kid.
He is a kid.
He was excited. It was his first day.
He's a competitor, Michael.
That's all you want.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to take my team in this game.
Okay. I think that's smart. I hate Stanford. I have no problem taking Notre Dame.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm right there. For
NBC.
Late start on NBC.
Yeah.
Did we miss any other Notre Dame items?
No.
Everyone's can we talk about the stupid kicker from Wake Forest not coming out on the field? That poor kid.
Why didn't they just call timeout?
I don't know. And their coach is just such a class act. I kept hearing that. You think he would have called a timeout?
I can't imagine. What percentage chance does it go up that he's gonna miss on a situation like that? So for people that don't know, they in the first half, it was like their second possession, they go out to kick a field goal, like a 30-something yard field goal, 36 yards. And they're all lined up, and the holder gets in his position, and he has his hand down and everything, and he looks back to check with the kicker if he's ready to go, and the kicker's not there. And so he's looking around like, where's the kicker? The kicker didn't know that the field goal unit would run on the field. He was kicking into the net. So he goes running out there, and he has to rush his whole process of getting in position and stuff. And so they snap it, and of course he misses. He hits the post. And I'm thinking, why don't you just call timeout? It's the first half.
It was important. Those points mattered.
Yeah, and it's the first half. So just go kick a field. Just
And then he missed another one in the first half, and that's all he's thinking.
He actually missed 3 because
he missed the last one twice.
Yeah, he missed it. Notre Dame ran into him, and then he got to kick it again, and he missed it again. Not his day.
No, and those points it was still kind of a close game.
It was 28-13. When he missed the first one, it was 0-0. And then when he missed the ones at the end of the half, they were down 28-13, but they were getting the ball to start the second half. So you figure make the field goal, score a touchdown, it's 28-23. And then you got something.
Yeah. But
instead, he missed. They went like 4 and out, and then Notre Dame went down and scored a touchdown, and the game was over.
And speaking of true freshmen, I felt bad for their quarterback.
Yeah, that kid got man.
He didn't stand a chance.
That kid just got bludgeoned all game.
It's like help him out.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't even throw. His hand was like couldn't even hold the ball by the end.
I thought his thumb was dislocated. The way he was holding it.
His hand was very awkward. He was just like holding his hand out straight.
Yeah, it was like
without bending his fingers.
Feel free to go get him.
He was like undersized. He's 18 years old. Like, help me out here, guys. Oh well.
Yeah, and it's like the offense that they run. It's like if you get any sort of like nick or injury, it's like no, you can't. You can't wait for the pain to go away because we need to snap it with 36 seconds on the play clock.
Right.
Man, they play so fast. Never seen a team play as fast as them.
Well, it didn't seem to matter.
Nope. So, what do you say, Michael?
I think it's time to call it quits.
All right.
Follow
Sounds
Greg
good.
on Twitter, Greg2126. Follow him at uhnd.com. He's writing stuff for them all the time.
My stock report is out. Came out today.
Stock report's already out?
That's right.
Can I have a taste of who's on? You don't have to tell me where they're going, but can I have a taste of who's on it?
Well, I put, Ian Book, Alize Mack. I mean, we pretty much touched on it.
Okay. All right.
The offensive line. So, I kept it positive this week. I'm not going to nitpick on some made up things that are trending the wrong direction because everything's trending up this week.
Everything's trending up for Stanford. I like it.
Maybe next week it'll be different.
We'll see. Who knows? Follow us. We're Tilting Ground. Subscribe to the pod. Write comments. We appreciate it. And fight on.
Go Irish!